Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and this time we are going to be talking about the Tier 1 deck, probably one of the most beloved decks out there, and that is Dark Magicians. Yes, we're talking about Dark Magicians today. Obviously, we are using Sealed Tombs. Seal the Tombs, prevent them from doing anything in the graveyard. Can't banish, can't special summon. Pretty freaking good. Obviously, in the current meta right now, it's insanely powerful. But, with that being said, why are we running this deck? What makes this a Tier 1 deck? What makes it so good? Let's quickly talk about it. Obviously, Dark Magician, you know about that. Pretty basic. Let's talk about this monster right here first. Magician of Dark Illusion. What this card is a Dark Magician on the field. It's easy to get out as well, because during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap card or effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you activate a spell or trap card or effect while this card is face up on the field, you can target one Dark Magician in your graveyard to special summon it. That effect can only be used once while it's on the field, so there you go. The other effect can be used, once per turn. But overall, you can only summon one of them at once. So ultimately, I just say you really only need the one in the deck. If you want, you could technically run more. But ultimately, it's not that big a deal. It's just kind of like an extra card for your Dark Magician. And like another way to keep your Dark Magician on the field, and basically it's just another Dark Magician, which is very important. Now, how do we search things? We use Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod, you can add, when it's normal summoned, you can add a spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card Dark Magician in its text, right? So that's Illusion Magic, Dark Magic Attack, Magician Navigation, Dark Magical Circle, stuff like that, right? Pretty useful, if you ask me. Now, what made this deck top tier was the addition of this card. Dark Magical Circle makes this deck really good. Why? Because when this card is activated, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then you can reveal a Dark Magician or one spell or trap card that specifically lists the card Dark Magician, and add it to your hand. Then you can place the others in the on top of your deck in any order, right? Then, if Dark Magician is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, this is what makes it super good. You can target a card your opponent controls and banish it. Now, you can only use that effect once per turn, right? So having multiple of these out doesn't really matter too much. However, highly recommend playing 3 of them. I only have the 2, but if you can, play 3. So, banish a card on the field. Insanely powerful. A lot of cards activate in the graveyard. Not a lot of cards activate when they are banished, right? Shiranui does, but that's okay. Not that big a deal. Most of the time, it's not going to be the end of the world by banishing a Shiranui monster, because most of the time you'll try to banish a Synchro monster or something like that, right? So, it's all good. Then we have Illusion Magic. Tribute a spellcaster type monster to add up to 2 copies of Dark Magician from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So pretty useful. Basically, you could use Magician's Rod to search up Illusion Magic in order to tribute off the Magician's Rod to grab up double Dark Magician, right? Pretty useful. Then we have the other core card of this deck is Magician Navigation. Magician Navigation, what it does is, this is probably the most important card. I would highly recommend, if you don't have 3 of these, it is in a mini box, but if you want to play this deck, get 3 of them. Highly recommend that. Very important card to this deck. But what it does is it special summons a Dark Magician from your hand, and then you can special summon a level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster type monster from your deck, right? So normally what you'll do is you'll summon, one of the combos that you can do is you can summon Magician's Rod, grab up Illusion Magic, right? with a Magician Navigation in your hand, right? Then you will set the Magician Navigation tribute, or set the Illusion Magic during your opponent's turn. They are going to try and swing in to your Magician's Rod. You activate your Illusion Magic, tribute off the Magician's Rod in, and then grab up 2 Dark Magicians. Then you activate your Magician Navigation on the field to summon up your Dark Magician and your Magician of Dark Illusion, right? And then if you add in your Dark Magical Circle, you're also going to be able to banish a card, right? Just as long as it's not in the damage step, banish a card. Really, really useful, right? That's a quick combo for you, but it has a second effect. Of course, it has a graveyard effect. Why would it not, right? If this card you control, if you control a Dark Magician monster, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard to target a spell or trap card on the field to negate its effects. And a spell or trap card your opponent controls, right? So, say they want to activate their own Magician Circle, right? If this is in the graveyard, negate it. Or say that they want to activate their own Magician Navigation. Negate it. Not allowed, right? Dark Magic Attack? Nope, negated. Anything like that, you can negate it as long as it is also not in the damage step, I believe. Maybe not. Forget I said that. Anyway, you can negate it. Pretty freaking useful, right? Now, the rest of these cards basically are tech cards. This is the core of the deck. Obviously, you'd probably want to run 3. The rest of these are tech cards. Now, there's another tech card that I don't have in here, and another tech card that I don't have in general. Kaiku is a really good card. If you know the card that I'm talking about, it is a monster that prevents... It is a Dark Spellcaster type monster that is less than level 7. I think it's level 4. That prevents banishment from the graveyard, which really heavily shuts down Shiranui, as well as it will even stop a Magician's Navigation from negating an effect, right? Because you can't banish it. So Kaiku is really good. Also, you can target 2 cards in... If it deals damage, you can target 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard to banish them. So that's also pretty useful. But alas, I don't have that. But the other monster card that is kind of a tech card that you could add in is another Dark Spellcaster type monster that is less than level 7, or level 7 or less. And it is Knight and Sorcerer. What this card does is if it's special summon, you can target up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard to banish them, right? Say you're going up against Dark Lords. You special summon this card. You banish their Sanctified that's currently in the grave, and their Contact or something like that, right? Now, with that being said, they probably have an ability to actually negate your effect since they have the Sanctified within the grave. But let's just say that randomly they don't. Banish it, right? Or say you special summon this, you could banish 2 monsters, right? Or what have you, right? Say there's a Magician Navigation on the in the graveyard, or 2 of them. Banish them. No negates. Not allowed, right? Really, really useful. Good card. Not the best. Kaiku is probably better. More of another tech card. And then you can also use it to Synchro Summon since it is a tuner. So we got a couple Synchro Summon cards here, right? Mostly level 9 since most of the time you're going to be summoning up your level 7s along with it. So then you could go into like a Vermilion Dragon Mech or something like that, right? Now, with the other tech cards that I'm running, Treacherous Trap Hole, pretty useful because all of these cards can actually get out of the grave as well. The Canadia can be activated when another trap card is activated to just bring itself onto the field. These ones banish to negate an effect. So there you go. Pretty useful to activate your Treacherous Trap Hole. As well as, it's just an insanely good card in the meta. If you can run this card, run this card. It's so useful. Now, with that being said, I also like to run Dark Magic Attack, as well as 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because getting rid of back row is so very important. If you instead want to not run your Dark Magic Attack and instead run the 3rd Cosmic Cyclone, go for it. That works too. It's just back row. disruption. Just get rid of the back row, force them to use it, force them to, activate things that they don't want to, and it's real nice. Anyway, the next card is Eye of Timaeus. Target a Dark Magician monster you control. Fusion summon a fusion monster that specifically lists that card. So what we do is we activate our Dark Cavalry, which boosts up by 100 for each spell or trap card on the field and in the graveyards, both yours and your opponent's. And it inflicts piercing damage, and if any card is targeted on the field, you can discard a card to negate the activation. Really, really useful. Okay, there you go. That's it. That's everything. Let's hop into some replays. Alright guys, welcome back. So this time we are facing off against Jaden Ubel, which is interesting, with Neo Space and a 21 card deck with only the one in the extra deck, which is interesting. But here we go. We open up with double Magician's Rod and a Magician Navigation, Illusion Magic, and Cosmic Cyclone. So there you go. He's playing Cyber Darks, which is pretty interesting. He's going to set 2, grab up Cyber Dark. We're going to tribute off our Magician's Rod in order to grab up 2 Dark Magicians. Then we are going to activate our Magician Navigation. And then we are going to take out one of the back row cards. He's going to attack directly because of his ability. Having his attacking directly, that's fine, no problem, right? We're going to Dark Magic. We draw into a Dark Magic attack, right? Which is insane. Super useful for our Dark Magician. Or our Magician of Dark Illusion. So, we pop the entire back row, including the Neo Space, and we ended up popping a Dimensional Prison as well as the Cyber Dark Cannon and the Neo Space. So there we go. We're going to activate the effect of our Magician of Dark Illusion in order to summon up our Dark Magician once again. And then we summon up Magician's Rod, activate our Magician's Circle, seal the tombs, swing in with everything, and victory. Now, the reason we sealed the tombs there is because he sent a Bacon Saver to the grave. Bacon Saver can stop an attack, right? But it has to banish itself. Well, guess what? Prevent the banishment. Done. No negation of attack. There we go. Done and done. Let's hop into the next duel. Alright, here we go, guys. We are up against a Leo with a 30 card deck. And he happens to go first. It is grass. That's greener Shiranui. He didn't happen to send Burgeoning Whirlflame, which is really good for us, right? But he still has a Spirit Master, he's got a Squire, he's got a Solitaire, as well as 3 tuners currently within the grave, which is pretty good for him. He activates his level augmentation, allowing him to summon up the level 10 Sun Saga onto the field. Now, we don't have the best of hands, but it did get better with that drawing of Magician Navigation. So, we're going to activate, grab up ourselves the Illusion Magic, and then we are going to seal the tombs and set the Treacherous Trap Hole and the the Magician Navigation. Now, this card, it says if I would be destroyed or any other zombie-type monster would be destroyed, you can banish a zombie-type monster instead and then prevent it, right? So, yeah, if a zombie-type monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish a Shiranui monster from your graveyard instead. There you go. Well, we sealed the tombs, preventing him from doing that, meaning our Treacherous Trap Hole is live and can be activated to destroy the cards. So we're going to activate that because we wanted to do that first, so that we were able to get rid of his field, and then we wanted to activate Magician Navigation, so that this card was still live during that, right? So, there we go. Activate, summon up 2 cards, then we grab up ourselves an Eye of Timaeus. We just drew it up. There we go, Eye of Timaeus, activate, summon up our Dark Cavalry, and then swing in with Dark Cavalry and Magician's Rod, keeping the Magician of Dark Illusion in defense position. He has nothing in his hand, and we're good. There we go. Beating Shiranui, top tier. This deck's insane. Alright guys, welcome back. We are facing off against Akiza Izinski once again, going second, and I really think that this deck does prefer to go first, and with this hand in particular, we do really want to go first. Another Shiranui player, they end up sending the Cosmic Cyclone to the grave, which is pretty interesting. We're going to seal the tombs, prevent the banishment or special summon from the graveyard. They take out one of our Magician Navigations. That's fine. We have another one, right? So we're good. We good, right? Activate Magician Navigation. Summon up both the the Dark Magician and the Magician of Dark Illusion. We're gonna try and banish that back row. He flips it up, activating the Floodgate Trap Hole. Then we are going to activate Eye of Timaeus to summon up our Dark Cavalry, and it's Shiranui, which means they have 0 defense, meaning we inflict 3,500 piercing damage to the opponent, swinging into the face down. There you go. This deck is super good against Shiranuis. If you have a problem with Shiranuis, play Dark Magician. Super easy. There you go. Alright, here we are up against Maximilian Pegasus, going second once again. We're going to just set 3 cards and seal the tombs, seeing as how they're playing aliens, which is rather interesting. We set double Magician Navigation and a Paleozoic Canadia. So, here we go. Activate Magician Navigation to summon up our 2 cards that we need. Alien Kid activates. He adds a alien counter onto all of our special summon cards. Then he puts 5 onto this guy. Well, doesn't matter. We're going to summon up our Dark Cavalry. Alien Kid activates. Magician of Dark Illusion activates to summon up our Dark Magician. Now, keep in mind, A counters every time we battle an alien monster. We lose 300 for each A counter on our card. Right? So this guy currently has 5 A counters on him, which means he's losing 1,500 attack every time he battles 15 attack and defense every time he battles an alien monster, right? So, and then when this card got destroyed, it put 2 more onto our Dark Cavalry. So, he's going to banish his card, reducing our Dark Cavalry, as well as searching for an Alien Ammonite. Alien Ammonite activates. He's going to activate the Telepath, the Alien Telepath, to remove a spell counter from our Dark Cavalry to pop our Cosmic Cyclone that we set. Then he's going to Synchro Summon into the other one to remove another 2 counters from our card in order to destroy our Magician Navigation. That's not a big deal, but it kind of is. Anyway, unimportant. He's going to activate he's going to grab up his Black Illusion Ritual, and we're going to negate it because we had a Magician Navigation in the grave already. He's going to swing in, deal a whole bunch of damage. We grab up ourselves the Magician's Rod, and now it wasn't special summon, so it's not going to get an A counter on it. Then we grab up our Dark Magical Circle and grab up the Dark Magician. Then we just swing in, deal a bit of damage. He activates Alien Ammonite, activates Alien Telepath. We're going to negate the effect by discarding the Dark Magician to keep our Dark Magical Circle on the field. That's not really that important. That's our 3rd Dark Magician in the graveyard, and we don't really have... No, it's our 2nd, but we don't really have a good way of searching it. So, not really great, but it's fine, because we're going to get rid of the Alien Telepath, negating its effect, destroying it, allowing him not to Synchro Summon, and then he just swings in, realizing he has nothing. So there you go. That's the deck. Let's hop back into the deck editor real quick. So, this deck, what makes it super good, and what makes it something that you will probably see a lot in the KC Cup, is this card right here, Dark Magical Circle. I don't think that this will be the deck to beat in the KC Cup. I think that will probably still be Element Sabers. Element Sabers are insanely good right now, right? But what this deck does is when Shiranui was really good, it had a really good counter to Shiranui, right? And it has a lot of really good side deck options. So in a format where you're playing with a side deck and you're able to switch cards in and out, it's incredibly useful. If you don't have that, I would recommend going with this and adding in either a Kaiku or a Knights and Sorcerer if you so feel like it, instead of something like Dark Magic Attack or or a Canadia or something like that. I ended up using Canadia quite a bit, found it very useful, but it's all up to you. See what you like, see what you feel is better, but ultimately, I would just say that this deck's really useful, or really good. You're gonna see it a lot in the KC Cup, and going into the KC Cup, be prepared to stop it, right? You gotta play Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of Dark Magical Circle, right? So, there you go. That's all I have to say. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to see more content like this, as well as more decks, just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.